had last night's assignment where we did solving systems by substitution and elimination. We're going to be doing the same thing today. The only difference is today we have 3 variables. And because we have 3 variables, we now have 3 equations. For every variable, you have to have another equation to be able to solve it. So with 3 variables, we have 3 equations. But when we had 2 variables and 2 equations, what did we have to do to one of those variables? What was our first step? It was either what or what? Starts with an X, starts with an X. You had to do substitute or you had to do elimination. Because we were trying to eliminate one of the variables. So now that we have 3 equations, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to try to eliminate one of the variables. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to eliminate one of the variables. There's just a few more steps. All right, so I'm going to take you through the steps. All the steps are written, well, they're kind of all written on there. They're just like really condensed. When we are done, do you remember how we wrote our answers for yesterday's assignment? We wrote it as a what? Ordered pair. Guess what? When we have an X and a Y and a Z, what it's going to be called? Almost. In ordered what? Not triplet, but ordered triple. So our solutions to these systems are ordered triple. X, comma, Y, comma, Z. Looks like an ordered pair, but there's 3 of them. And we will not be doing this, but you can plot an ordered triple. You know when you plot an ordered pair, it's like X, Y, and it's on a plane that is flat. Geometry planes. When you plot an ordered triple, it's in 3-dimensional space. So you have like an X and a Y, and then you have out Z. An X and a Y, and then Z. Or so negative Z, it would be like, so it's 3-dimensional. Because there's 3 of them. All right, let's start. So what I have to do is I have to eliminate one of my variables. When I first start, you guys want to do well on this, you got to stay organized. You got to stay organized. I teach this 6 times a year. The people that do well, stay organized. The people that make silly mistakes are the ones that feel like they can just skip steps. Those are the ones making silly mistakes. Stay organized. So I'm going to go and I'm going to label my equations 1, 2, and 3. So when we are talking about the equations, you guys can tell me, oh, equation 1, and we all know which one you're talking about. And I have to eliminate one of the variables. And I'm just like looking over my equations because since you saw how much work I'm going to do, since I have so much work to do, I want to give myself the least amount of work. So I'm looking over my equations before I get started, and I happen to notice this last equation is already missing a variable. Which one is missing? Y is missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 equations, and I'm going to eliminate Y from those. This one is already eliminated Y, but I still need to eliminate Y from the other 2. So I'm going to just write this down, eliminate Y. So I know what my goal is, to eliminate Y. If I were to, and you can do substitution or elimination, but I'm going to do elimination almost every single time. Almost every time I'm going to do elimination because I think it's easier with 3 variables. So I look here, and I need to get rid of the Y. If I add these up the way they are, will the Y cancel out? So no, I need to multiply one of the equations. Which one? 1 by what number? By what number? -3, because this one's a +3, so this one needs to be a -3 to cancel out. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by -3. I'm going to rewrite the top equation. I'm not going to just like write it up here. I'm going to rewrite it because I'm going to stay organized. -3x minus 3y minus 3z equals -9. And I want to add that to equation 2. So I'm going to rewrite equation 2 even though I didn't change it. Because if I'm going to be lazy and I make silly mistakes, it's going to be way more work in the long run. if I make silly mistakes. So I'm going to try to avoid those by staying organized. After you rewrite those, let's add them together. And we get negative 4x. The y's cancel out. Negative z equals sign negative 17. I'm going to label that equation A. So I had 1, 2, 3, but when I eliminated, I now am calling it A, and I'm going to have a B also, you'll see. Okay, so I had 1, 2, 3, I eliminated, now I've got equation A. In order to do this, we have to have two equations. We have to have an A and a B where we eliminate the same variable. So I eliminated y from these two. And then we already know that this one has y eliminated, but it's not in the right form. So what should I do to make this equation 3 look like the right form? What should I do? I need it to match up with this one so I can do elimination. What should I do over here? Do you know what I'm saying? So equation A is negative 4x and then minus z. But equation 3 is an x and then an equal sign in the z. I need the z to be on the same side as the x. How am I going to get it over there? Subtract 4z from both sides, right? So now I have x minus 4z equals, and then when I subtract 4z, what does it equal? 0, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So we have our equation A and our equation B. So what we did is we took 3 equations and we got it down to 2 equations with 2 variables. At any point, if you are feeling super tired, it is 6th period, it is warm in here. Shay, if you are feeling tired, please feel free to stand up and take your notes. You don't have to sit, but you can't block somebody else, so take them over there. But if you are feeling tired, you don't have to sit. Please feel free to get your butt up and take notes, okay? Please feel free. Because I don't want you to miss this and have to go watch the video because you took a nap in class, all right? You could just go sleep earlier tonight instead of taking a nap in class. All right, good idea. Let's do this. Now, what we did is we took 3 equations, we made it into 2 equations with 2 variables. So once you get to 2 equations with 2 variables, it's what we did last night. So we have 2 equations with 2 variables. We need to eliminate one of them. Which one would you like to eliminate, the x's or the y or z's? I would like to eliminate the x's. I'm looking here and I'm saying, you know what? If I multiply b by a 4, then my x's will easily cancel out. So now my new equation for A is the same equation, negative 4x minus z equals negative 17. And my new equation for B is 4x minus 16z equals 0 times 4 is 0. I'm going to add those equations together. X cancels out. We get negative 17z equals negative 17. So what's z equal? Divide both sides by negative 17, we get z equals 1. So we have one of our variables. Do you know why I make that funny line in my 7s and my z's? Because, so everybody knows it's not a 2. And guess how many papers I have graded in my very long time of being a teacher where somebody thinks they are writing a Z and they think it's a 2 and they get it wrong. I mean, it's going to be hard. So you got to do whatever you can do so you're not making silly mistakes. I've graded so many papers where somebody thought a Z was a 2 and then they totally get it wrong. So be careful. I mean, you don't have to do the line thing, but if that helps you, please feel free. All right. At this point, when we have one variable, we're going to plug it back in to find a second variable. If you take that z equals 1 and you go all the way up to equation 1, you're not going to be able to solve it because the equation 1 has 3 variables in it. So what we're going to do is we just go back to either equation A or B. That's our next step, is we're going to plug in A or B. Now, if you're writing notes, I'm writing in plug in A or B, just so everybody knows what we're doing. But when I actually do my assignment, I'll write which one it is. I'll write plug in A or plug in B. So which one would you like to plug z equals 1 into? Look at your A and your B equation. Which one looks easier to solve? We're plugging z equals 1. Which one looks easier to solve? It doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible. Does it look easier to solve that has a negative 17 or a 0? Let's plug it in B. Let's plug it in B. There's not a wrong answer. You can either or, but